Hey guys, Tisha here. Welcome and welcome back for another Love and Marriage DC review. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. We pick up this episode with Ashley and Raina still fussing about the Christmas Eve event. Ashley feels like Raina and her family is like their extended family, and she just really didn't like how things went down. Raina apologizes for it and lets her know, like, look, even though you felt like I was taking Joy's side, it wasn't a side thing. I was just looking after her to make sure that she was okay. I do not want to take sides when it comes to the both of you because both of you are my friends, which is fair. I feel like Ashley is childish though, and them like coming to a mutual consensus that they're okay isn't going to last. You then have Raina in her stuff saying that she wonders if Ashley and Joy can make can make things work by meeting up and like having some conversation. I really need for her to stay out of it. I don't want her to get in the middle of that situation because when she does, it turns into something else. And Ashley basically lets her know, like, no, I don't think we can make anything work out because based on what her husband was saying, Clifton thinks that I'm jealous of Joy. And if that's the way that they feel, then I just don't want to have any involvement with them whatsoever. There, she's listening to her, but in confessional, Raina, I feel like her name is different, but whatever. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Jamie's wife. That's horrible to say it like that. But she thinks that Ashley isn't necessarily jealous of Joy, but she feels like she's jealous of Joy and her friendship. And I don't really know what it is. I just know that I don't like this side of Ashley, and this does come across as very childish. So we see Winter and Joy. They meet up and they are working out together. They talk about the Christmas party and how Joy got kicked out. Winter is happy to now know that she's not the only person who is part of the kicked out club. And we see flashbacks of the different times that Winter was kicked out of things. Joy says that Ashley told something concerning her in confidence that she said that she wasn't going to say. So she's talking to Winter about it. And then she lets Winter know, like, she said that Clifton and I were married. So Winter congratulates her and was like, okay, so what's the problem? And she's like, the problem is that I told her in confidence, and she agreed that she wouldn't say anything, and she did. She has a reason to be upset, and Winter kind of agrees with that. But at some point, like, how long are we going to drag this thing out? Because you all came to television knowing that it very much so would be a possibility that this was found out. Is it wrong of Ashley to put this out there? Yes, especially because it's something that they didn't want to do. But to drag this out over a whole bunch of episodes is going to annoy me. Winter says that she's had her share of disagreements with the group, but it seems like the situation with Joy and her, excuse me, you guys, is a lot deeper. Joy feels like she's too old for this. She said she's about to be 43 and Winter's in her 40s too. And this just seems like it's a lot of high school stuff, and it does. We see Ashley talking to one of her friends, assistants, I don't remember what she is, about the most recent events, because apparently little Jamie has been going on social media posting things on his story. So last season, during an episode, Quick called little Jamie a bad kid, which I don't necessarily feel like it was wrong because I understand what he was trying to say. If you get caught doing certain things, your actions are bad, but that's not how it was taken. So Jamie said in a story, like, it's funny how somebody who got shot and stabbed has the nerve to call somebody bad. MFers be so perfect though, I forgot, with laughing emojis. Little Jamie, to me, needs to direct that anger towards someone else, because if you take the whole situation into context, I don't think that Quick meant any harm by it. Now, did he need to say it like that? No. But to blow it up the way it did, it could have turned into something else. So he wrote also, take the DJ off your name and who is you? So he's getting a little personal with some digs, even talking about his clothing and things of that nature. Ashley says she doesn't feel like Quick meant it towards him. He was talking more so about his actions and that she knows how it feels to be called bad. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I did a lot today. I helped my friend move and apparently it's catching up with me. She feels like little Jamie is going this hard though because of all the different eyes and stuff that's on him right now. And because he's embarrassed, he feels the need to like speak up for himself. But they should be bigger than going on social media because they're supposed to be like family. She then calls his mom, says, look, can we talk about, things that are going on? I don't want to text you about it. I would prefer for us to have a conversation and I would like to talk to little Jamie about it. And she says, yeah, I agree. Y'all should just come over when you have time. And Ashley feels like this can be rectified, but in order to do so, that they both need to take accountability, which I can agree with. We then see Clifton and Carmen. Say what you want to say about Clifton and Carmen. You all let me know your thoughts down below about this situation. I get that men and women can be friends. I should know because my best friend is a man. I've known him since high school. But the way that Clifton and Carmen were touching on each other and talking to each other was a bit much for me. So Carmen is supposed to be Clifton's publicist. While Joy was in Mexico, if Clifton had events and things of that nature that he couldn't bring a woman to, he would bring Carmen. Part of like his for the PR aspect, which I don't understand that, but that's what he's saying. So whatever. Normally to me, this wouldn't be weird. But Carmen was attracted to Clifton. On the show that they were on, which was a dating show, Carmen went out on more than one date with Clifton. So to see them having the discussions that they're having and the things that they're doing and knowing that they go out a lot of times by themselves, it's a bit much to me and it's a little odd. She comes in, hugs him, says, ooh, I like that. I like that smell. That's a different one. He tells her the name of it. She takes her hands and she does like this, like across his beard, all in his beard, and tells him it's shinier too. She's a little too comfortable for me, but that's not my man. My man is walking around with a scruffy beard, so I never... The poor thing can't even... Let me stop. Anyways, he is walking around with a scruffy beard. So I wouldn't have to worry about some woman putting her hands all up in his face. But it's just too much to me. Like, she's way too comfortable with this person that she's supposed to be doing business with. So they cheers. And the cheers is to business, to love, and to sex. Yet another thing that's not appropriate. These two flirt a little too much for me. And this is coming from another flirt. Yeah. When I'm in a relationship, I purposely calm that down. He is supposedly married and he's fine with doing this. So Carmen says, aren't we still a throuple? She's joking about it. They then talk about the whole copyright stuff. Joy's supposed to be handling it. Carmen wants to know when it was submitted. He tells her, oh my goodness. Excuse me. He tells her 3 to 4 weeks ago. Carmen tells him that it could take up to a year to get that handled. So this is something that should have been done a long time ago. She says, I need you to have a conversation with Joy. Find out what's going on. Let Joy know that if it is too much, then she just needs to go ahead and handle it over to me because there are deadlines that need to be met. And I'm just listening to this. I'm like, okay, why didn't you utilize Carmen or someone else, get an attorney or something like that, who could have handled that in the first place? She's a publicist for something that at this point doesn't exist. because where's the oil? Or maybe it's here now, but back then they were still working on it. We see Winter's in the studio recording again. I'm really not a fan of the singing, and I'm tired of the people singing on these reality shows because I'm sorry, a lot of them really can't sing. Like, you are not about to make a big career out of this. Just stay in your lane. Winter's middle sister walks in. She lies to her and tells her that the music sounds good. We find out that it's been 4 months that Winter has been with Yusha, and after they left their ice skating event, Yusha did tell her that he loves her. Her sister wants to know what's so different about this situation because she's like, I think she said you're a Libra and you fall in love so quickly. And she says, do I? And she's like, yes, you've done it several times. And she was like, okay, no. She's like, you did it with the 2 guys before. And didn't you kind of do it with the kid's dad too? And her sister just encourages her to take her time to really get to know him. And her sister is right, because I look at my son's father. I was with my son's father for 6 years and I'm still learning things about him. And my son is 17, if that gives you any context. So she's right. She is still learning things. Take your time, Winter. You should have learned a lot from what we saw last season with that man that was nothing like what he said. You thought he was an architect and he wasn't. You thought he was into the church and he wasn't. You thought he was living in a basement apartment, but he was living in his mom's basement. So there's a whole bunch of things that should make you really, really take your time with this one. So we head to Raina's house. We find out that the Silvas are heading over there to talk to Jamie. Raina admits that Jamie has his father's attitude, so she's hoping that this thing goes well. Jamie says he doesn't care because he said, I know that Quick is going to bring up what I said about my son, and I don't care what I said about my son. Quick is not allowed to say anything about my son. I could call my son a bum, but he can't. And I just say, no, you shouldn't be calling him anything either. Your words have power. You're calling him a bum. You said he was bad. You said a lot of things about him. And just because you're his father doesn't make it okay for you to do that. So he feels like the line was crossed because he spoke on his son. And Quick feels disrespected. He said, little Jamie has his number and he easily could have called him. I hate that they keep calling this 26-year-old little Jamie, but that's what they're doing. So Jamie, because he comes down the stairs, they sit down. So they want to talk about the elephant in the room. And Jamie says, I want to make it be known right here that when I saw what little Jamie posted, that I told him to take it down, that he was doing too. No, he didn't say take it out. I told him that he needed to chill out. And little Jamie said, I do what I want to do. You hear little Jamie saying, I looked at them like they were my aunt and my uncle, so it caught me off guard that they would say that he would say the things that he was saying about me. Quick says, look, I stand on what I said. You all might disagree with me, but I don't think Quick said anything wrong. His father kept going to Quick, talking to Quick, because Quick was doing some of the same things back in the past that little Jamie had done back in the past. And you put it out here for all of us to see. Quick was very open and honest about some of the things that he did and said he did a lot of what Jamie did, to the point where Quick was even shot and stabbed. Or was he just stabbed? I can't remember. Either way, Quick was injured. I think he was shot. With all that being said, Quick was open and honest about going down the wrong road, to the point where he said he wanted to make sure that neither Jamie nor his son continued to go down that road. Quick says, look, you're not a kid. If you had an issue with something that I said, a man wouldn't have taken it to social media. A man who has my number would have reached out to me. And I agree with that. He should have reached out to him, or his mom, or his father. Anybody could have, but that's not what was done. He feels that him taking it to the internet is corny. And Jamie said, It's corny that you use me. Why use me when you could have used yourself? Rather than answering that question, Quick goes into a spill about what a bad kid is. But that's not what he needed to hear. Jamie said it was corny for Quick to say, I don't want my son to be 26 with no job. And Quick said, that's not what the F I said. I thought it was going to turn into something else because Jamie's like, why are you talking like that? Why are you cursing at me? Lower your tone, whatever, whatever. But Ashley kind of de-escalated the situation. And Ashley tells him, look, your mom came over and I told her what was going on with Tonio. We found out that Raina told Ashley some of what he went through at 15, and she tells her to nip it in the bud. We are then shown some unseen footage where Raina is telling Ashley that she needs to get him on the right track now because there's things that she saw with little Jamie at that age that she let slide. And she feels like if she were to nip it in the bud sooner, that he would be doing a lot better than he was at that time when they were having that conversation. So they go back and forth. The point is that he used Jamie as an example of a bad kid at 15 that was entitled because that is what the parents told them, number one. And two, probably because their son knows little Jamie and can relate to that situation. I'm sure that he's told him time and time again about his story because he didn't hesitate to tell us. And he even said it in front of his son and Jamie at one point. Raina says, I understand that you want the best for him and that you've been mentoring him, but my son was upset. He's been upset since he saw that episode Saturday, and my son's feelings come first. He says, little Jamie says that the internet has been tearing him up all because of that. And I'm listening to him talking. I'm like, okay, the internet isn't tearing you up because of what Quick said. The internet is tearing you up because of what your parents have said and because of what we've seen and because they're telling us that you don't have a job. They're telling us that they bought your car. They're telling us that you live in their house at 26. Your parents are the ones who was telling all your business. They could tell all of that, but your dad didn't wait until the latter part of or the beginning of this season to let us even know that he was a police officer. So they didn't have a problem throwing you under the bus, telling all your business, but they had a problem telling their own. Interesting, right? Because Jamie in his house, little Jamie, is what they deemed as the bad seed. Quick admits that he was wrong, and he said, you know, I apologize. Jamie said he did not like the comparison and he just wanted Quick to just utilize himself when he said that rather than him. Quick says, people coming at you wasn't just because of what I said. They've been coming at you before that because of what was said by your parents and what they saw. And Ashley says, look, they're coming at all of us. Quick let them know, look, I am in your corner, even though in that moment you felt like I wasn't. I am in your corner. And I apologize for hurting you. And they hug and they're good. We get to Joy and Clifton. They discuss Carmen. Joy says that, you know, she's glad he can meet up with Carmen. He tells her, like, look, I had to talk with Carmen. And Carmen basically is like, there's a lot on your plate that you can go ahead and hand over some of the stuff because certain things should have, you know, been done a little bit already. So he's like, I think you should do it. And she's like, well, there wasn't too much on my plate. It was just timing. In confessional, she says that she's the one who handled the copyright stuff and the design and picked out the logo and the vendors. And all Clifton really did was get the bottles. But she's like, if he wants to give it to Joy, then I'll just go ahead and pass all that copyright stuff to Carmen, then I'll go ahead and pass all that copyright stuff on to Carmen. Y'all, I'm so sorry that this review is trash. I'm all over the place and I'm listening to myself like, girl, I'm sorry. She's going to pass it on and she's okay with doing that. So we have Ashley and Quick. Quick's telling Ashley about inviting the guys to go wrestling. He includes that Clifton was in that invite. She doesn't understand why he would invite Clifton, especially with the comment that he made about Ashley being jealous of them. And I just like, okay, Ashley, it's obvious he's inviting Clifton because they're filming a show. I don't actually see Quick hanging out with Clifton, but y'all are filming, so let's invite him. I personally don't care for Clifton after seeing some of the things that he did on his show and how he played that girl along with Joy when he did say certain things to her and make it seem like he didn't. So I don't really care for Clifton, but it's whatever. So she tells him, like, if you want to, hang out with karaoke singer's husband, then go ahead. So all the guys arrive, learn some techniques. C3W is a wrestling league, and they're training in some kind of way. Quick is a part of it because we see his name on the banner. I don't know what Quick was thinking inviting these older gentlemen who have back problems and things of that nature to this place, but they do it. We see them do different things. Even Jamie, who lets us know he is close to 50, throws himself to the ground, and we see Black, who shows up in jeans and stuff because he didn't pay attention to the message. He does it too. He's a little funny. Clifton, who has surgery on his back, decides that he wants to body slam somebody, and I thought it was really dumb. You see him do it, and then you see him ask them to please cut that scene because if his doctor sees it, it will be a problem. They finish talking. Clifton asks a question about doing business with their spouses. Quick says his short answer is don't do it. He said that him and Ashley had a business at one point and it was causing a lot of conflict with one another. Excuse me, as far as those things were concerned, and that even though you say you're not going to take the business home with you, that you do, and Black kind of agrees to that. Clifton tells them about the situation with Joy and Carmen and how Joy kind of dropped the ball with deadlines and stuff like that. So now Carmen's going to kind of take over. And Jamie wants to know how Joy is okay with the interactions between Clifton and Carmen because Raina would never be okay with it. And he says it's easy because they're friends. I don't think she'll be okay once she sees some of what we've seen because some of these scenes are a bit much. Jamie tells us that he feels like Clifton might be heading down a slippery road with that. I agree. Black says on social media, when you see the pictures, they do look like a throuple. And that was the end. You all, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Please like the video. It helps me get in the algorithm. I am trying to build my platform and be on things other than just Sister Wives. I enjoy it, but at some point that is going to end because in my rewatch, I'm like in season 9 already. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you have not done so, like the video, subscribe. I'm on the road to 2,000. And if you watch me more than once, what are you waiting for? Until next time.